This expression from Senku is just priceless. Like, I just don't know what to say about this. Like the moment, uh, what's his face arrived, Senku's friend, whatever his name was, I forgot. But he arrived, and Senku just watched him reveal the cave secret. This expression was priceless, and I was like, I had a laughter. That was a good start to the episode because you like it has such a serious tone building up to it, with all this shit happening, with the strongest man Tsukasa there and everything there happening there. You know that shit's gonna go down and everything, and you just see Senku and Tsukasa. There's this intense atmosphere between them, and all of a sudden you just see this guy pop out of nowhere. He's like, "Yo, the case miracle war, I got that shit." And this guy Senku just gives that props to the animation team whoever did that. Every it deserves every credit. Like it was amazing with that shit. So that was a really good start. But throughout the episode, I have to put some points. Again, like this episode, the first half really had it for me because you had this intense atmosphere between Tsukasa and Senku just building up constantly. You know these two are building this constant atmosphere where they are having a conflict within their own minds. Like their minds are conflicted, not like they're having like physical conflict until the later on, like in the mid start of the episode. So until that point, they are just battling through minds, and they're just trying to like keep it away from this guy who's Senku's friend, whatever. I forgot his name. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm still new to the series. It's gonna take me a while to remember everyone's name. Just give me a minute, okay? You just see this intense atmosphere between them constantly building up, and then there is this guy. This guy just like I don't even know what to say about him. Like he's constantly being funny about all the shit, and Senku's like, "Yo, you gotta do shit quickly. This ain't no time to like prayer shit. This ain't no time to do random romantic shit. We have to do this quick before this Tsukasa gets over here." Like, yo, I love that shit. I really like Dr.Stone doing this constantly. Stowing, okay. So, but here is something that I want to speak about. That's Tsukasa, bruh. You gotta give it to Tsukasa. He's one hell of a strong guy. Like, just look at the damage conflicted on this guy. Like, I mean, yeah, he's the strongest person alive right now. Everybody is a stone. Remember that. Everybody's a statue right now. But he's the strongest guy alive as of right now. And I understand that, but he is one hell of a strong guy. If he was able to just catch that arrow just like that, and just give this guy like just give him a kick. But I have to say that this guy is pretty strong too, and I have a feeling like Tsukasa and he is gonna have a rematch, some sort of rematch. I don't know. There's definitely gonna have it. This guy and Tsukasa at some point. I don't know when it'll be, but I have this feeling that it's gonna happen just because of the. It feels like they're building up to it. Like they're building these two to have that fight, that at some point. I don't know when, but honestly, that's what I'm thinking. Another thing that I like is how Tsukasa is just not all about like, yo, I'm strong enough, I don't need brains. Tsukasa uses his brain, which I feel like, okay, this is a good combination of bronze and brains. Like it's good. It's good to have this combination because remember this, when it comes to Senku and his buddy, he's the brain, his buddy is the brawn. But this guy is all in one. So it's like you have a two different separate beings who have two different tasks to perform. While you got Tsukasa who can just do both the things here, which I really like. Like a villain who is like an antagonist. I wouldn't say a villain yet, but as an antagonist, Tsukasa is definitely putting fear, I would say, into these two's mind because even if the Brawn can't like he doesn't like fighting, that's just as simple as it. He will just defend up until the very end, and that's about it. So we have seen this. We have seen this. Senku already explained about it in the previous episode. So it's quite obvious why. He's just his kind person. That's all I can say about him. Senku's buddy. And Senku on the other hand, he's creating gunpowder powder. Powder. Okay. 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 But yeah, he's creating gunpowder, which is a way quick acceleration from what Stone Age should be. Like Stone Age to go into directly go into gunpowder, like that's something. That's one mind you need. I mean, Senku is living in a modern age and everything, so it's obvious that he would be as a scientist, as a young scientist that he's rising up and rising. I'm pretty sure. And plus, he's been here for one whole year. Okay, he's been up for one whole year, and he's been working on this shit constantly. So that's the reason why I say Senku is really, really good with his shit. Anyways, what do you think about this episode of Doctor Stone? Personally, I thought this had to be the most intense episode I've seen so far in Doctor Stone's, because it started. It's this way. It's an intense episode. At the same time, that's that weight wasn't going too intensified, but at the same time, it had this intense vibe. It balanced intense comedy, like mind games and everything. Like it balanced everything out, which I personally, when it comes to an episode, that's what I'm looking for, a balanced episode of everything, which this episode definitely gave, and I'll give credits to it. Pretty good job there. Anyways, let me know what you think about this episode of Dr. Stone, and I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, peace.